Hey, what's going on? This is Paul Farmer here. This is Freedom Project Live, episode 137. So I'm just going to kind of get right into it. Uh, so last night I was with my wife. I was watching this show. It's called Undercover Billionaire. Maybe you heard of it, maybe you haven't. I believe it's on the Do It Yourself network, Do It Yourself network. And what it is basically this guy's a billionaire, right? And he has challenged himself to take $100, only $100, and go and create $1 million business within 90 days. 90 days with $100. Okay. He can't use any of his contacts. All he can rely on is the skills he's built, and that's it. And what they do is he doesn't even know where he's going. So he gets on a plane and they go and they drop him off in Erie, Pennsylvania. He didn't know he was going to be there, but they drop him off in the middle, in a location he knows nothing about, never been there. And I heard Danny Johnson speak in the past, and she said the same thing. She's like, I could go, you could put me on a plane, drop me off anywhere in the world, and I would be able to pick up where I left off because of the skills I've developed. So that right there is a key. But what I want to do is I want to give you a few takeaways I got from this first episode. It's a really powerful episode. If you are in a place where you don't have much money now, if you think that lack of money is the reason why you don't have any money, that's limiting your opportunities, I would watch this show. The show is powerful. But yeah, he literally is left with $100. So the first episode, he's living in his truck. He actually spends money on getting like cup of noodles and things like that. And he doesn't have a lot of money. He sleeps in his truck the first night. He ends up getting a hotel, not a hotel, but like the cheapest place to go stay possible. And he's left with like $37. Okay, $37 from a billionaire to $100 only. He has a truck. That's it. So $100 and a truck, and he's dropped off in a town he knows nothing about. So some of the takeaways I had from this, I wanted to share some of these. Is one, it doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take money to make money. Okay, that's a myth. There's opportunity everywhere. I say this all the time, especially when it comes to online business. You could start an online business for free. If you have an internet connection, you could get up and running. There are people everywhere on social media. You can create videos. You don't need a lot to get started. There's plenty of opportunities that are free or very, very inexpensive. If you can't afford anything whatsoever, then you can go and collect some cans, So one of the things that stood out to me that he did first thing was he drove around town and he looked for a need. He looked for a need in the town. He's like, so I need to find out what this is about, like what's happening in this town. And it looks like it was a manufacturing town. Lots of factories that had been shut down, and a lot of people have left the town because all these factories shut down. But so one of the things I learned was he says, find buyers first, then go create the product. Find the buyers first, go create. So one of the first things he did is, I don't know if it was Craigslist, it was something like that. He went and he looked at what people wanted. He went and looked for what people wanted to buy, and then he went and looked to find those products. So that's a big takeaway right there. You want to find out what the buyers want. What do they want first? And then you create the product, right? So if there's no need, you're going to have a very difficult time. So he drove around, he looked around, and he went on like the classified ads, online classified ads, and he found out that people wanted like these commercial tires. They wanted wrought iron fencing. And so he started looking for that stuff because there's all these different places around town where all this stuff was left over. So that's one thing he did. The next thing he did was he started applying for anything and everything he could do to make some money. So that's another tip. This guy was not, this is a billionaire, but he was willing to go and do whatever it took. So one part of the episode, he was cleaning a house, someone's house, for $80. Just to get $80, he was cleaning the house. He's all, it's not below me. My mom did this. He fell back on his skills. So sales is skills. So he looked for jobs where he could go and sell something. One of the things he sold was like dog balls, and he was only going to get $1 when he sold the ball. And, you know, when he went to the park and he started talking to people, he was just getting shunned, basically. You know, he's a billionaire, and these people obviously didn't know that, but they're no, I don't want the ball. I don't want the ball. So that was a miserable failure, but he kept going, you know, and then he ended up finding a t-shirt place where he was making t-shirts. Never done that before, but he's willing to do whatever it took to get some money to go so he could, you know, start this business, get some money aside, start this business. So another takeaway was, he said, if you're in survival mode, you can't build anything. So if you're in survival mode, you can't build anything. So one of the first things he wanted to do was he wanted to get $3,300 to cover his next 3 months of rent and food and all that. That's one of the first things he wanted to do. So that's what he set out to do. So another thing that really stood out was when he was selling, he said buy low, sell high. Of course, that makes sense. So it was like a St. Patrick's Day, you know, it was St. Patrick's Day, and all the people were there, and he knew that. So he went to the store on St. Patrick's Day, got a tremendous discount on like St. Patrick's Day trinkets, and he went to where the parade was, where all the people were, and he started selling this stuff to the people. And one of the things I noticed he did was he said, you have to find the herd. So he's like, where are the drunk people? You know, where are the drunk people? Show me the drunk people. So he went to the bar and he started selling everything there because, and what he said was, when you sell to one thing to the herd, that means other people are going to come and follow. So you sell one or two people, other people are going to follow. So those are my takeaways from the show so far. I mean, there's a lot in there that if you're looking to make some money from home, online, offline, it don't matter. There's some real big takeaways that we can really learn from. I mean, this is a billionaire, right? And he's starting with $100, and the goal is to build $1 million business in 30 days. To me, that's incredible. But that just goes to show you when you understand the principles of success, you can go out and do that. It doesn't matter where you're at. You fall back on your skills. His skills is sales. Sales is the highest paid profession. So perhaps you want to learn how to sell. Like that might be something you may consider doing. I always say sales and marketing. I tell my kid all the time, you got to learn sales and marketing, because that you can always fall back. There's always openings for good salespeople, right? There's always openings. And that's one of the things that he fell back on this first episode. And he ended up making, I think it was like $400 something, still sleeping in his truck because he's working to get the money together so he can take care of what he needs to take care of first. So he's not in survival mode. So he can start building a business. So he hasn't started building a business yet. He's making connections, but a lot of great takeaways there. And like I say all the time, it's not lack of money that's the problem. It's lack of ideas. Go watch that show. You're going to get some ideas. If you don't have any money, go watch that show, and you're going to realize that you can create opportunities anywhere. And I just think it's incredible. You know, I know it's a TV show. I'm sure we're not seeing everything, but just the premise, just the whole idea of what, like, I've always wondered that, you know, like people say that all the time. Like, oh yeah, you can just drop me off wherever and I'd pick up where I left off. And here's a guy that's putting it to the test. He's actually doing it. Does a reality show, you know, doing it. So that's pretty awesome. The other thing that I really like about the show is it shows his struggles. They're not sugarcoating it. It's like he's all, I forgot how hard it is to work. He's all, I forgot how hard it is to hustle, to grind. He forgot what it was like. And that's another lesson. You could fall down and just keep going. Keep going. It's going to be tough at the beginning, but you got to work at it, and you'll get there. Okay, so that's all I got. I got the gardeners going by right now, so it's going to be get kind of loud. It's always fun, right? Doing a video and you got gardeners going by. But yeah, that's it. Okay, if you want to make some extra income, click on the link right below. That is my main thing. That's how I've been able to create a living online for the last 23 months now. I give you access to my private VIP group where I give you recorded training, live training, actual blueprint, exactly showing you exactly what to do. If that's something that interests you, something you want to do, go ahead and click on that link and get started. And I'll see you on the next one.